ready to rumble.
What has become an annual tradition for us here on the ISC Sports Network, a trip to my beloved hometown. A little easier to sell this trip when you have the defending 1A state championship attached to your name. Lanesville on a 24-game winning streak, 11-0 on the season, and fresh off their biggest win of the year against conference rival Borden, take on a Crawford County team that is off to a flyer as well. The Wolfpack are 11-1 on the season, and they are hoping for their first girls basketball sectional crown in 31 years. Thanks for joining us on the ISC Sports Network. Today's game presented in part by Blocker Concrete. Blocker Concrete, your local flat work specialist. And by Beckman Lawn Care, proudly serving Harrison and Floyd counties. And proudly joining me in studio for this call for a second year in a row, Jan Bozier. My name is Greg Rakestraw. Thank you so much for joining us. And Jan, we always try to pick a game we think will be competitive for this Lanesville team. The job that Angie Hitton has done since she set foot on campus has been tremendous. But again, these are two teams that are both ranked. Crawford County number 7 in Class 2A, and their combined records 22-1.
That's amazing, I tell you. And Crawford County, much like Lanesville, has a lot of similarities, Greg. They really lead by defense. Neither team allows a lot of points to be scored.
Both these teams have a common opponent. They've got multiples of them, frankly. Mitchell was the last one for Crawford County. 25-point win for Crawford County against the Blue Jackets last Thursday. Last Thursday, again, Lanesville got that huge win against Borden. That was a packed house at Borden. Members of the IHSAA Executive Committee were on hand for that game as well. Borden was ranked number 1. Lanesville was number 2. Lanesville won that one by a score of 35-33. Jan, let's get right to it. Give us your keys to tonight's game.
Well, shot selection is going to be huge. I just highlighted the fact both defenses are really good, allowing very few points, under 35 for both teams. Turnovers, Lanesville does a little better job of taking care of the ball. That's one of the problems with Crawford County. They're averaging around 13. And last but not least, three-point shooting. And here's why. They don't make a lot of threes, each team around 6, but in a game like this, if you get 2 or 3 more than your opponent, it may be a difference maker.
Lanesville has hung their head on defense in their 28 wins last year. They did not allow any more than 41 points in any of those games. Crawford County is shooting 38% from three-point range. That number certainly jumped off the page at me. Also of note, Crawford County, a team with really good size. Emery Stroud, 6'1 sophomore. Kylie Rickenbaugh, a 5'10 senior. And that is one thing Lanesville is currently without. They graduated 2 key post players from last year's team. Lindsey Warner, now starting and playing at IU Southeast. Morgan Sonner, who is going to play softball at Oakland City. The other returning post in terms of Shelby Allen is out with a knee injury. The good news for Lanesville, she is clear to start practicing next week. They think they will have her back for the Niehaus Classic down in Vincennes on the 29th and 30th, but it's a Lanesville team that will likely want to play 6 and all 5, 9, and under for tonight's contest. You see the national anthem getting ready to happen. We'll step aside. We'll come back with starting lineups and opening tip-off after this here on the ISC Sports Network. The ISC Sports Network is your home for sports content across the Hoosier State. Find us live on TV and streaming or archived on our website and our app. The ISC is your one-stop shop for the content you want to see, including high school sports, college sports, and other great events throughout the year. Subscribe to our streaming service and get access to it all. ISC, local lives here. Ball here. Harris scores. With 19 seconds left.
Fake players, big boy. I'm telling you right now, that's awesome. I love it. Here's the finish.
You get a layup taken and an and one. Ball here. Harris scores. With 19 seconds left.
Fake players, big boy. I'm telling you right now, that's awesome. I love it.
Here's the finish. You get a layup taken and an and one. Starting lineups being introduced as we speak for Crawford County, coming in on an 8-game winning streak. They had the exact same scenario a year ago, and Lanesville won that game down in Marengo by a score of 61-36. Chris Broughton is both the AD and the girls basketball coach at Crawford County. And again, Jan, they've had some really successful teams. They've just had a little bit of misfortune. They've been in the same sectional as Pekin Eastern for a long time, right as the Musketeers had a great run. In fact, Crawford County had their season end at the hands of Eastern for 6 consecutive years. Already Crawford has a 33-point win against the Musketeers this season. They're going to be the heavy favorite in sectional 48 this year.
Yeah, they were 15-9 a year ago. Certainly nothing wrong with that. And you and I talked, their schedule gets stronger after today's ball game. So this is a big turning point, Greg. A big-time game against Lanesville. Then that schedule really toughens up. So this is really going to be a good challenge for Crawford County.
For the Eagles, you referenced the fact they had 2 seniors that were in the starting lineup, really 3 that played on a regular basis for head coach Angie Hinton. Hadley Crozier is the player to watch. She has a chance of potentially being a Division I level player out of Lanesville High School. She has offers already from Maryville, which is Division II in St. Louis, and Indiana Weston, a program that you and I get to see on a regular basis. Hadley, 17 points, 6 boards, 4.5 assists, and 4 steals a game.
Yeah, and I really like the way Angie Hinton really coaches. She's never had less, Greg, than 18 wins in any of her 5 previous seasons. That's amazing. And a state championship last year.
Something about those Hintons, they can coach them up. Crawford County has the ball. Thanks for joining us on this Thursday night here on the ISC Sports Network. Lanesville starts out in an extended pressure 2-3 zone. Ball was touched last by Lanesville. Strength versus strength here. Lanesville, 13 steals a game. Crawford County does a pretty good job of taking care of the basketball, less than 13 turnovers a contest. There's that pressure by Lanesville. Already a quick steal taken care of. That is one of the Davises in Jane that has the ball in her hand.
Speaking of steals, right on cue.
Again, Lanesville hangs their head on defense, but if they can knock those down, good night. Davis is their best three-point shooter at 38%, and the make leads to a near steal by Lanesville. In fact, if Brumley let that ball go out of bounds, it would have been Lanesville ball as they went 2-2-1 full court pressure.
Yeah, we talked about the 3 of the keys to the game. They're only making average around 6 a game. They take about 18. That's probably, Greg, one part of their game that needs to improve a little bit.
Frankly, they have been so good defensively in this run of success, it hasn't mattered. It's just been a bonus. Crawford County tries to answer that one left short. Rebound is tipped out of bounds by Crawford County. Again, Lanesville will be undersized. You see Brumley at 5'7" on the low block. Again, when they get Shelby Allen back in a couple of weeks, that changes the paradigm completely for the Eagles. Full court pickup by Crawford as well. And Crozier bails Lanesville out. And on the back end of it, Ellie Schneider gets her easiest bucket of the game.
Well, sometimes the press can be a plus, sometimes it can be a minus if you break it correctly.
Schneider will play a college sport, but not basketball. She is going to play softball at nearby IU Southeast at the NAIA level.
You talked about the defense. They're extending it and really pressuring the guards of Crawford County.
Schneider does a good job of walling off, but they couldn't prevent the rebound. Put-back bucket is good by Kylie Rickenbaugh. 5'10 senior, 6 points and 5 rebounds a game. And as you can tell, both teams, as soon as a basket is made, it's full court pickup time. Brumley on the bounce, stumbled her way to the basket, but it leaves an open look for Hadley Crozier. Crozier misses. We referenced the fact that Jane Davis, their best three-point shooter, about 38%. Virtually everybody else right around 30%, but of the 5 on the floor, all of them largely have a green light to shoot from 3 for the Eagles. 1-2-1-1 pickup here by Lanesville.
Well, both teams now at least three-quarter court and some full court pressure right now.
Crozier, steal, step through, missed it.
Got to finish that one.
Crozier has yet to score. And Lanesville will really want to play just 6 if they possibly can in this one. 3 to tie it for Crawford County. A little bit too strong, and that'll be a displacement foul against Crawford County. Good job by Schneider as the tallest Lanesville player at 5'9" to be able to get the inside position, secure the block out.
Well, you can't help but reference last year's state championship in a lot of analogies here, but I thought that team last year blocked out as well as any girls team I had seen in a while.
Davis lost the handle. First Lanesville turnover. And of all the stats that can impress you about Lanesville, defensive catches your attention. How about this? They're averaging less than 8 turnovers a game. Part of that is having usually the quickest player on the floor handle the ball in terms of Crozier for the Eagles.
Well, and you know they're going to get teams press, and so they obviously handle the press very well.
Crozier the steal, Kerr the benefactor.
And that's what's great. If you can get the trap and then turn it into points, that's huge.
Ava Kerr gets the bucket, 7-2 Eagles. 3 minutes in. Rickenbaugh fouled. That'll be on Schneider. Should be on the floor. Let's take a look at the latest defense to offense for Lanesville.
Well, a lot of double and triple teams, and if you don't recognize that as the Wolfpack, you're going to lose the ball. If there's 2 or 3, math tells you somebody's got to be open, Greg.
Crozier got her hand in there. Shroud able to fend her away. Good recovery, though, by Kerr. Kerr then is tied up. And the arrow points the way of Lanesville, so make that a 4th turnover. I know Kerr is dealing with a bit of a back injury. He's a little slow to get up.
Well, Kerr actually does the right thing there. As long as she stays face down, she's okay. No violation. If she remotely moves one way or the other, it's travel. So she did really all she could do on the floor.
Kerr, Crozier, Brumley, all returning starters from a season ago. Crozier right down the lane, got fouled, and Hadley Crozier will shoot 2.
Well, Lanesville's really doing a good job of first and foremost breaking the press, Greg, but then recognize nothing there. And look, the kickback out pass, inside, outside, that's just good basketball 101.
So Crozier to the line, which is something she does frequently. Crozier misses. Again, she has yet to score, a 75% shooter on the season. Tonight's game brought to us by Blocker Concrete, your local flat work specialist. Call today at 502-333-5223 or email Mike at blockerconcrete@gmail.com.
Well, Lanesville's been really good all year, shooting 74% from the free throw line. Missed both of those.
Davis on the steal and scores it. 5 quick turnovers by Crawford County, and Chris Broughton will ask for a timeout. It will be a full one. Let's step aside with them. We'll show you Lanesville's latest defensive handiwork to break. Eagles out to a 9-2 advantage early as you're watching on the ISC Sports Network.
Brewer Jim's at home.
That ball wiggles in and into the back of the net.
A little fireworks in the first half.
Throw it up for Tillman.
Whoa, my goodness.
122-6-0 for Penn.
What a swim. 6 of them.
see Chris Broughton. Again, he is both the AD and girls basketball coach at Crawford County, and trying to figure out ways his team to hang on to the basketball. 5 turnovers to start the game. Let's thank our friends at Beckman Lawn Care, proudly supporting the Lanesville Eagles and proudly serving Harrison and Floyd counties. Call and need them at 812-736-1241 or email beckmanlawncare@gmail.com.
Greg, you can see why a lot of teams would want to press Lanesville, but as I said, a lot of times the press can be more of a hindrance than a help, and Lanesville really did a good job of execution and breaking that press.
9 too early at Lanesville advantage. Here comes the trap by Lanesville. That's a Lanesville team picking up 13 steals a game. This year they're allowing 34 points a game. Last year it was under 29. Wing 3, Crawford County does not go. And that time, 2 Wolfpack players fought each other for the rebound.
That's an amazing stat, what you just talked about. The fact they're 34, which is 39th in the state, but they won with the state championship to give up just 28.8 points a game. That is just shy of amazing.
It was like getting sucked into like quicksand playing them last year.
But still, listen, nothing wrong with 34, and they got 10 games to improve that average.
1-3-1 look here by Crawford County. Davis fires a baseline corner 3, and I'm sure she's glad our camera's here to document that the shot ends up getting stuck. We might need a little help to track that one down. Somebody get a broomstick. Helps when Emery Stroud is 6'1". Good to see Zach Payne is on the case. Director of Athletics at Lanesville High School. He was the head coach of the first state championship team in program history, the 2017 baseball program. And good to see Tim Bridges offering nothing but applause on the baseline wearing his Lanesville cap.
Listen, Greg, Lanesville's press has caused more problems than Crawford's County press has caused.
Just 1 field goal so far for the Wolfpack, and again, there's Crozier in the passing lane. Crozier got it on the board.
Greg, she has incredibly quick hands. She's shown us here early that she can really get her hands on the ball.
So 4 of 5 Lanesville starters have scored so far. Eagles out to a 9-point advantage. Crozier blows a tire, which leads to an open 3, and I think that was Stroud that got that one to go.
Well, Lanesville forces you, if you're open, you better take the shot because they double and triple so quickly.
That was Stroud, who is Crawford County's leading scorer at 16.5 points per game. So second field goal, first made 3 for the Wolfpack. 15-foot baseline jumper left short. And the rebound corralled by Howell for the Wolfpack.
Wolfpack, much better job of inside checking out that time.
In the zone, a bit of a wrinkle here. Thrown at Lanesville by the Wolfpack. And Crawford on average making just under 6 threes a game. And we said a sparkling 38% from three-point range. Neither team has yet to sub. Crawford normally plays about an 8-player rotation. Lanesville will play 6. Tied up, I believe. Nope, traveling will be the call. That's a benefit for Lanesville. If it's a held ball, it goes back to Crawford County. Here comes that sub in for Lanesville. Emma Davis will check in.
Yeah, this zone, and they're it's more than just a zone. They still trap out of this zone. A lot of teams don't trap out of the 2-3. But Lanesville, that's in their DNA. Trap, trap, trap.
Pretty sure Lanesville traps you getting out of the bus.
I think you're right.
3 in the corner, good.
There you go.
And that is Davis, who just checked in. So Emma Davis, so much for getting the possession and run down the floor and get warmed up, right? You're ready. Let it fly, and then steal again by Davis, but then quickly ripped back by Rickenbaugh. Good hands in the passing lane by Brumley. Then a foul against Lanesville. We'll keep it here. It'll be Jane Davis that commits the foul, her first. By the way, Abby Adams in there for the first time for Crawford County, wearing number 5, a 5'4" sophomore.
Lanesville off just to a rocket start, 14 so far with 2 minutes left in this period. That's a pace there, a little quicker pace than even they have throughout the season.
Again, both teams have been off since last Thursday. Lanesville had that huge win against Borden. Crawford County a relatively easy league win against Mitchell. 9th Crawford giveaway in the first 6 minutes and change.
Yeah, we talked about if they have a real problem, turnovers have been a problem, and boy, Lanesville just really making them turn the ball over.
Crozier off the window, no, but Eagles will get another look at it here.
what happens when you play against Greg teams that just have that great quickness, teams with good hands. Passes that you normally get, you're not always getting against a team like Lanesville.
Give and go to Crozier. Long two, no. Brumley, though, keeps the rebound alive. Davis, wing three. Not that time. And then Crozier, let's see if it's a foul or a jump ball. I think it's going to be a foul.
Yeah, I think they're going to get her on the reach. She doesn't like it, but still going to be called a foul.
They're actually going to get Kerr. And Ava not happy about that. And again, Lanesville's as aggressive as they are defensively, because their rotation is so tight, they've got to be careful in terms of early fouls.
Key right now, Greg, for the Wolfpack is they got to take care of the ball.
And the last place you want to stop is right there.
Yep.
And now a timeout called by Crawford County just to maintain the possession. So already the Wolfpack have burned a couple of timeouts here in quarter number one.
Listen, you got to pass the ball before you get to the trap. Once you get to the trap, it's very difficult to see. They're waiting way too long. They got to get that ball to the middle on a press breaker. Get the ball to the middle. It gives you more avenues to pass the ball. To your point, they went over that coffin corner. The inline works as another defender.
Want to make sure we take a moment to thank our tremendous ISC Sports Network crew. We are a little bit like a duck on water tonight. Everything looks great. It's going well. We were kind of in scramble mode early, so thank you to Jordan Shue. Thank you to David Kahn. Thanks to Alex Laverne, who is our man on the scene down in Lanesville tonight. And thanks to Josh, the IT consultant at Lanesville. He is our player of the game without ever having set foot on the floor tonight, because he had to do some significant work to make sure our signal could get to you on this Thursday evening. Ellie Schneider rotates back in for Angie Hittensquat. Angie, who won her 300th game earlier this year. Stroud, runner, got it.
That's as good as half court a set as the Wolfpack has had. I think they talked in that timeout, Greg. Listen, too much dribbling. You got to pass.
And again, that's just something that Lanes will have much of a defense for as they're constituted right now. They won't have last year's size, but they have more size on the way. Brumley fires a three. That does not go, but Kerr tracks down the loose rebound, and then she is fouled, and Stroud swatted down. She didn't need to. She's the tallest player on the floor, has had to say straight up, but she comes down, and Kerr gets 2 free throws.
Well, Lanesville's winning most of the 50-50 ball, Greg, as well. The Wolfpack have got to pick up their intensity against this Lanesville Eagle ball club. They're just a little quicker to those ball and off rebounds.
But Lanesville not making free throws here in the early going. Kerr on the season, a 66% shooter. Almost all the free throws of this team are taken by Kerr and Crozier. Kerr gets that to go. Only Brumley has yet to score of the 6 Lanesville players in this game so far.
Much better job. See, they got it to the middle. That opens up the passing lanes. That's exactly where you got to get the ball on a press breaker.
See if Wolfpack hold for one here or just take the first available best look. Lanesville is a difficult team to kind of maintain the possession, given the caliber of defense the Eagles can play.
Listen, you got to move against this Lanesville defense. There, see, there's finally a cut.
And a foul will be called. It's a pre-shot foul. So 4th team foul against Lanesville. So underneath out of bounds with 5 ticks of the clock left to go.
Wolfpack's got to find more cutters towards the bucket. If you stand against the trap, you're just assisting to be getting trapped.
So Ellie Schneider picks up her second, so she'll check out. Jane Davis coming to replace her.
You talked about this Lanesville schedule. Over half of this schedule, Greg, is playing against larger schools. Some of that they control, some of it they don't, but that's still a plus.
Misfire by Lanesville defensively allows Sturgeon a wide open 3, and she is the last player going to do that to against Crawford County. She's making 43% from three-point range this season. Wolfpack have it down to a 5-point lead. We're back after this on ISC. Well, Lanesville jumped out to an early, sizable lead. Crawford County, with that late three, have made this a two-possession game, 15-10. Greg Rakestraw, Jan Bozier with you here on the ISC Sports Network, the annual Pink Out Cancer Night here at Lanesville High School. So a mix of pink and purple for the Eagles this evening. Your impressions on the opening 8 minutes, Jan?
Well, I thought the Wolfpack obviously got not only to a slow start, but got a little careless with the basketball. But the three-point shot is the equalizer. Talked about that in the opening. A couple of them that really helped them get back in it. All things considered, the Wolfpack still only down by 5.
The fact you turned it over 9 times, you're within two possessions, you feel good about that.
You really should.
So Lanesville has the ball to start the quarter. Crawford County doing a little zone mix of their own. Ellie Schneider sits with 2 fouls for the Eagles. Crozier just 1 field goal for Lanesville to this point. Crawford County's lone loss, Borden. That was in Corden's tournament about a month ago. That was a 20-point loss to the Braves, and that's the team that Lanesville beat by 2 last Thursday on the road to likely give them the Southern Athletic Conference Championship.
Well, that's the only loss that Borden even has. They're still 9-1 on this season. So, listen, that's a really good ball club in Borden.
Steps called against David Kerr. 3rd Lanesville giveaway. And Lanesville won this game by 25 points when these two teams played a season ago.
It's a big possession now for the Wolfpack. Down a couple possessions, they can get really close now.
This is Stroud.
Oh, tough shot.
But made it.
Tough shot.
Again, a 6'1" sophomore. 7 points so far, 16 points a game. And it is now a 1-possession game. So Crawford County has weathered the original storm.
Lanesville needs a bucket here, Greg. They've had a couple of empty possessions here. They need to get some offense going.
Good take by Brumley. Davis for 3, no. But Brumley will track down the loose ball.
And that continues to be the theme. They're tracking down a lot of those long rebounds.
And Kerr, shot blocked, somehow got it back. At 5'5", one of the smallest players on the floor, but got the rebound. And then 3 seconds is going to be called as Kerr was just camping in the lane, waiting for his shot to go up. And now Lanesville will take a timeout. A 30-second timeout. We will keep it right here.
Well, I thought Lanesville was standing for the first time a little bit in the half court. When they're moving, they're as hard to guard as any team. But when they stand there, that equalizes for the defense.
Tonight's game presented in part by our friends at Blocker Concrete, your local flat work specialist. Call today at 502-333-5223. Or online, you can email Mike at blockerconcrete@gmail.com. This Crawford County program on the boys' side reached the state finals in the not-too-distant past at the 2A level. Their girls' program has won 3 sectionals in school history, including their first year as a high school in 1977. They have won just 2 since, and the last one coming back in 1993.
I got to ask you, Greg, of all the things you've done, and you've done as much or more than anybody, to get to call your Lanesville homeschool state girls championship, that had to be up there, right?
That and baseball were really cool.
Yeah.
All tipped by Lanesville, but Crawford County tracks it down. But as you know, for as enjoyable as it is, it's also very nerve-wracking.
It is. And there's still 2 teams on the court that
exactly
you have to give equal love to.
A lot of silent fist pumps in the broadcast, as you well know, last year.
You're right. Hey, we have announcers. We have little tricks.
3 seconds in the lane called against Crawford County. Well, I'm so fortunate that Lanesville has made 4 state championship games. I attended the first one as a fan. Other 3, I have been a part of the broadcast of those state finals games.
That's really cool.
Crozier stops, step through, probably the way with a walk that time. But then I think Stroud going to be whistled for a similar walk as she picked up the loose ball. And Lanesville has gone scoreless now to start this second quarter.
Yeah, they really have. They got off such a great start. And now in this second quarter, they went a little dry offensively.
Crozier, great job to square up. Trying to draw contact, didn't get it.
Good defense, arm straight up.
Kerr fires a three, and that's good. Well, Ava Kerr becomes the third different Eagle to connect from distance, the first without the last name of Davis, and the lead back to 6 for the Eagles. Stroud, or turnaround shot does not go, and that's not Stroud. That was Rickenbaugh that missed it. And that pass was deflected. It'll be out of bounds to Lanesville. Quick substitution for Crawford County. Riley House will come on. 5'4" senior. 7.5 points, 40% three-point shooter.
Lanesville just seems to be that ball club, though, Greg. Even though they kind of went dry a little bit in the half court, they can string together a run of 2 or 3 in a hurry.
They are so good defensively. They know that can generate offense for them when the shots aren't falling. House, the hustle points to track down the loose ball. And then a foul coming here against Lanesville. That'll be against Emma Davis. First foul of the quarter, comes nearly 3 minutes in.
Yeah, and Jehan not happy about that foul. That was just a little bit of a soft defensive stance. You got to get down and move your feet on that, because even though it wasn't much, the referee's kind of forced to make that call because you're kind of moving, kind of not. You're more than likely going to get that foul call.
Ellie Schneider rotates back in with 2 fouls for the Eagles. And they will play just 6 as long as they can tonight. High-low post, and Stroud got fouled. And so now Emma Davis picks up her second foul.
Well, I'm sure that Crawford County talked about that. 2 things went really well. A, they cut to the top of the elbow, and then down low they scoot in. That's good offense. Anytime you can maneuver and get in the paint, your shot percentage, we talked about shot selection, would be big in this ball game, is huge.
Stroud, a 72% free throw shooter on the season. Lanesville will play New Washington in league activity at the home of the Mustangs on Saturday afternoon. Then they are off until December 29th. They will play down in the Vincennes Holiday Tournament for a second consecutive year. That is a seeded tournament. Lanesville, the number 2 seed in that event. They will take on Purdue Poly. That is out of downtown Indianapolis in the 3A ranks. Crozier got it.
Crozier just really elevated that time. That was actually pretty good defense by the Wolfpack. She was under control, really used her legs.
Yeah, Stroud was there waiting to swat that one away. Deep 3 for Crawford County does not go, and that'll be a foul against the Wolfpack. Kerr with inside position.
Yeah, I thought that was a good call. Kerr clearly with the inside position. Good call by the official. Take a look here. Kerr's inside. Yep. Solid call.
Skylar Howell picks up the foul. 2-3 zone. We've seen a mixture of different zones for Crawford County.
And you're going to see a lot of that, perhaps more in the first half, because you're really trying to get a feel, Greg, of what is effective and what doesn't work near as well.
Bromley misses, and then Bromley gives the foul, which for Bromley, that's probably not a bad foul to take, just because it breaks up a fast break for Crawford County.
And that's why Crawford County adjusted out of that full court press, because it was more of a problem than it was a success. So they're going to keep that in their notes of if they want to use it and when they need to use it.
Crozier swats it away, gets the steal.
Should be an easy.
Davis agrees. 12th Crawford County turnover. Davis gets the bucket. She's got 7. And Crawford County will take another timeout. And again, Crawford will be down to 2 timeouts for the remainder of the game. Jane Davis was 7, which is right at her average. And one thing with Lanesville playing just 6 players for most of the year, everybody's scoring a lot. Every player that's a rotational player gets at least 5 points a game.
Yeah, and really kind of the key there is just stay out of foul trouble. Play hard, but don't foul.
Tonight's game presented in part by our friends at Beckman Lawn Care, proudly serving Harrison and Floyd counties. Calling you at 812-736-1241 or email BeckmanLawnCare@gmail.com.
5 straight sectional championships for these Lanesville Eagles, looking for number 6 this year.
And that would be the only 5 in program history right there. Had not won one until the 2019 season. The regional round was the stumbling block for Lanesville up until last year. Had a chance to go watch that game as a fan at the home of the West Washington Senators as Lanesville dispatched Wood Memorial with ease. Then got a great fight from Trinity Lutheran in the semi-state opening round game, and then bested Jacksonville. Crozier sprints, Kerr awaits, and Brumley lays it up and in.
Well, right now for Lanesville, everything's right at the rim. They're just really, really getting to the rim offensively.
And a foul against Schneider, which will be her 3rd. So Schneider will have to sit for the final 3:23 of the half. Again, the story of the game is 13 Crawford County turnovers and points off of them.
Well, they kind of recovered a little bit, got right back in it. Now Lanesville has just gotten at least 3 or 4 real easy buckets, and all of a sudden it's a 10-point lead. Now make it 9.
Cameron Wolf to the free throw line. She has 5 of 6 on the season. Schneider saying in there for now. Who touched it last? Looks like Lanesville did. Now Schneider will come out. So Ellie liked to see action again in half number 2. Next Lanesville foul, by the way, puts Crawford County in the 2-shot bonus. Stroud sneaks behind that zone defense, nothing you can do there. An already undersized Lanesville team gets smaller with Schneider off the floor.
Yeah, that's a tough pass to defend. That was really a good look by the Wolfpack.
Three in the corner for Kerr. Not that time.
This big possession again. I've used that term a few times, but it just feels like the Wolfpack, if they can get a bucket, will get right back where they want to before half.
Thought Wolf was going to let that one fly.
Oh, she wanted it. Not a good pass. It was right at her feet. That's a tough intro pass.
Again, Stroud has already knocked down a 3 and clearly has a good mid-range game. But again, given the fact that the tallest Lanesville player on the floor is Crozier playing the top of that zone, I think Stroud's spent a little too much time not on the low block currently for Crawford County. Lanesville has outscored their opponents by an average of 23 points a game. That's a tip ball. Offense player go back and get it.
Coach Hinton thought that was not touched. Should have been over the back. Official didn't agree.
3 in the corner.
Oh, that's big.
Up and good by House, who's a 40% shooter. And it's back to a 4-point game.
Well, listen, we talked about the three-point shot. You said they were shooting at 38%. I felt like if they could hit a few of those, that could still be the equalizer for the Wolfpack.
They've made 3, have Crawford County, and Crozier just kind of drug that pivot foot. And Lanesville a very casual giveaway. They're 5th.
Boy, Lanesville had that 10-point lead. All of a sudden, the Wolfpacks cut it back to 4.
Second time they have kind of reeled their way back from a double-digit or close to deficit. Stroud. And Stroud committed the no-no of putting that ball on the floor.
Absolutely well said, Greg. That's exactly what you cannot do. You've got to anticipate you're going to get doubled down in the paint. And as soon as you put that on the floor, that's exactly what the defense wants you to do.
Crozier. Offensive foul.
Going to wave it off. Well, the last 3 possessions, Greg, Lanesville has come away empty-handed for one reason or another. Pretty good call.
Just one step too many for Hadley. Her first foul. Now it's the 15 foul player control foul, so no free throws on that just yet. Lanesville's last loss came to Memorial of Evansville in the championship game of the Niehaus Classic in Vincennes last year.
Much better job of breaking the pass. Just wasn't aware right there.
Pressure by Crozier and one.
Crozier did exactly what you want your ball handler to do, Greg. She recognized she had a good angle, A. B, the defense was never set, so she took it right at her on a great angle, got the bucket, and is going to shoot a free throw.
Well, what you're also seeing is the continuity of this Lanesville team. And yes, they're without 3 seniors from last year, and they're missing their returning post player. But this group of 6 have spent so much time playing the last 2 or 3 years at the varsity level. They know exactly where the other one's going to be on the floor at all times.
Right, you mentioned it's kind of a minus and a plus. They don't sub a lot, so listen, they've had a lot of on-court time as well.
3 for Crawford, got it.
3-point shot coming into play here.
That's Riley House, her second made 3, and back to a 4-point game. So Crawford doing a good job of kind of surviving.
No, I like the no call. Pivot foot was still good.
Lanesville on skates right about now.
You can do the splits as long as you don't move your pivot foot.
And again, official pointed, toe stayed down the entire time.
It did, well called.
See if Lanesville looks to hold for one here. Lanesville led by 10 at 24-14. Jumped out to an early 11-2 advantage of the Eagles. 1A number 1 versus 2A number 7 in tonight's game. 3 in the corner by Davis. Got it.
That's big.
Emma Davis, her second made 3.
That at least matches some of the 3-point shooting, Greg. Back up to 7.
Still time on the clock for Crawford County. Ball tipped. Stroud. Did she get it off in time?
No.
Does not matter. So Lanesville takes a 7-point lead in the break in this matchup of ranked teams here at Lanesville High School this evening. Stay tuned. More high school basketball comes right next as you're watching on the ISC Sports Network. The ISC Sports Network is your home for sports content across the Hoosier State. Find us live on TV and streaming or archived on our website and our app. The ISC is your one-stop shop for the content you want to see, including high school sports, college sports, and other great events throughout the year. Subscribe to our streaming service and get access to it all. ISC, local lives here.
Brewer jams it home.
That ball wiggles in and into the back of the net.
A little fireworks in the first half.
Throw it up for Tillman.
Whoa, my goodness. 122-6-0 for Penn. What a swim. 6 of them.
There we go, baby.
Oh my God. Race to the other end, and he punches it down. Lock in. Takes it in. Little energy, little. Out the entire game. Touchdown. He's got it. He's up. Still going. Throws it up and Hooks will throw it down.
Back to the home of the Eagles. That logo has been on that floor. 94. Greg Rakestraw, Jan Bozier with you here on the ISC Sports Network. Our score at the break, Lanesville 30 and Crawford County 23. Again, it's been Lanesville building a lead. Crawford County slowly reeling it back in. These two teams combined to average 12 threes a game. They're on that pace right now. Both have made 4 so far in the first half.
Yeah, we felt like it would be the quality of the 3. And I think something else Lanesville found, there were a few times during that first half where they just weren't moving. They weren't playing as hard, and it showed real quickly. When you play like that, Crawford County can take advantage, and they did. So Lanesville's going to go in and talk at halftime. Girls, we got to play 100% all the time. This is too good of a Crawford County Wolfpack ball club. They will take advantage if you don't play it 100%.
Jan, did you buy your Chuck-a-Duck for tonight's halftime show?
Well, I'm not sure what that is.
So what they have done, it's basically pink rubber duckies.
Okay.
You can buy 1 for $2 or 3 for $5, and this is the version of the 50-50 tonight.
All right.
I don't know if the Eagle is the target, center of the court, whatever the case may be, but basically the closest to the target will win half the pot, and then the one that 50% goes to cancer research. The other winner gets the other half of the pot.
So right now the yellow duck is clearly, is it the half-court line?
I believe that's the rule. We'll find out shortly.
Or is it the Eagles' beak?
I'm going to go with exactly on half court.
Okay. Well,
like if you throw a bullseye, you're going to get half the pot, right?
Okay, that one. Now, does it matter for setting up or?
That was almost a little curling there. Almost knocked that off the center circle. But that's part of the fundraiser that we are doing tonight here at Lanesville High School.
I'm going with the duck on top of his head is the closest right now.
I would agree with you, and I'm glad we were able to catch that for you on camera. All right, so scoring in the first half, Hadley Crozier 7, Jane Davis 7, Ava Kerr 6, Emma Davis 6, 2 each for Ellie Schneider and Hilton Brumley. For Crawford County, Stroud with 11, 6 for Riley House off the bench, 3 for Madison Sturgeon, 2 for Kylie Rickenbaugh, and 1 for Cabrin Wolf. Again, our score at the break, it is Lanesville 30 and Crawford County 23. Maybe it is the Eagles' beak that is closest to it. Judges ruling when we come back on the ISC Sports Network.
Ball here. Harris scores. With 19 seconds. Fake players, big boy. I'm telling you right now, that's awesome. I love it.
You get a layup taken and an and one. McCulling in time. Oh, no! It's good.
This one is caught.
There you go.
Wow, Dawson makes a great catch.
Spin, win, 3, bury it for Leland Walker.
Tie the game they do with the dunk by Malik Edmonds. What a play.
Oh, my
I
goodness.
feel a little momentum starting to fall Ellen's way.
That it is Wrestler! Whoa!
The ISC Sports Network is your home for sports content across the Hoosier State. Find us live on TV and streaming or archived on our website and our app. The ISC is your one-stop shop for the content you want to see, including high school sports, college sports, and other great events throughout the year. Subscribe to our streaming service and get access to it all. ISC, local lives here. All right, this heads up for all the family members that are watching. My cousin Nathan won the Chuck and Duck. So when we get together for Christmas in a few days, nobody buy Nathan anything because Nathan is now flush with cash as the winner of this contest.
Now, guys in the booth, why would we not think a Rakestraw relative would not win the Chuck and Duck, okay?
Yeah, it's more of a Schneider family thing. But anyway, congratulations.
I said a Rakestraw relative.
Well done, Nathan. Keep zooming in there because that's my family section right there. So that's Nathan that is sitting in the gray T-shirt. That's my cousin Travis that with the – okay, I got to talk to Travis because, you know, his cousin works for the Indy 11, and he's wearing a Lou City shirt. So there'll be a phone call to Travis as soon as the game is over with. And to his right, that is my cousin Jason, who is Ellie Schneider's dad that we're talking about during the course of the game. So Jason, good on you. Nathan, good on you. Travis, you're getting a phone call later.
You're in trouble, Travis.
All right, with that, let's get to the highlights of half number one. As we showed these, Jan, let's talk about what both coaches are kind of thinking. If you're Angie Hinton, what's your thought process and message to your team at halftime?
Well, I think the obvious thing is the half court, you got to move. There was a couple period of times just took their foot off the gas enough that Crawford County came back in. I think what Crawford County's talking about, Greg, is, first of all, probably pressing's not a great thing. They did not do well with that. But what they did do well the second period was getting in the paint, get to the high and to the low.
The story for Crawford County is they've got 15 turnovers and they're still in the game. They're down by 7. Stroud has been tough to stop. I think at times Stroud has kind of taken herself out of position.
Yeah.
If she gets back more towards that low block, even if she's a good jump shooter, I'm not sure Lanesville's personnel to match that right now, Chad.
Well, and you got to recognize that, and I'm sure Coach Hinton will. You take advantages of your advantage in the mismatch, and clearly that's a mismatch for Crawford County, and good teams, good coaches recognize that.
Of note for Lanesville, Ellie Schneider has 3 fouls, and again, without Shelby Allen, still out with a knee injury for Lanesville, not much depth especially at the post position in tonight's game. Again, it is 30-23. Lanesville looking to make it 25 consecutive wins. They'll run their record to 12-0 on the season. Back with third quarter action in a matter of moments as you're watching on the ISC Sports Network.
Brewer jams it home.
That ball wiggles in and into the back of the net.
A little fireworks in the first half.
Throw it up for Tillman.
Whoa, my goodness.
122-6-0 for Penn. What a swim.
Six of them.
Now we're going, baby.
Oh my God. Race to the other end, and he punches it down.
Back in. Takes it in.
Little energy. Throughout the entire game. Touchdown.
He's got it. He's up. Still going.
Throws it up and Hooks will throw it down.
Ball here. Harris scores. With 19 seconds left.
Fake players, big boy. I'm telling you right now, that's awesome. I love it. Oh!
That's the finish. You get a layup taken and an and one. Back at Lanesville, Greg Rakestraw, Jan Bozier, not currently in Lanesville, in our ISC Sports Network studios. Now, Jan, I know you're disappointed that Mom was not in the studio with us tonight, because that has been the highlight of you coming up here for these Lanesville games. Last year's Ma Straw, who has now been living in Lanesville, or Indianapolis for the last 3 years, would come up and watch the game with us in studio.
Right.
She had to go home for the Bunko Christmas party, and they are watching the broadcast right now. So, hi, Mom. Love you. Have a safe trip back home tomorrow.
And I texted you today, didn't I? I look forward to seeing your mom.
That's right. So, Mom, you got to go the next time Jan and I are doing it
That's
again.
right.
We'll work on a schedule and work that out. What do you expect to see here early in the third quarter, Jan?
Well, I think, the key is now you can't turn it over. You're not going to, I don't think, escape a turnover fest like you had early. So let's see how they come out. The first 5 minutes of this third period, I think, for Crawford County will be huge.
Lanesville got off to a good start in quarter number one. Took them a little while to get going in quarter number two. Zone for Lanesville. Frankly, it's been zone for both teams most of the way.
Yeah, Lanesville plays a lot of zone, but she continues to change her defenses too, and I like that.
Stroud, runner, no. Lanesville, good job of holding their ground. And Stroud with 11.
Anytime you switch your defenses, it forces that offense to recognize quickly, and if you don't, that's when you get a trap or lose the ball.
Brumley for three, not that time. And the rebound corralled by Crawford County on the weak side glass. Three for Crawford, no. Kerr, weak side rebound. Trapped immediately, but again, when you trap Lanesville, that simply gives them a little more space to operate. That shot was taken and missed, by the way, by Sturgeon.
I really think Kerr's been really active throughout this whole game on both ends of the court, Greg.
Always is a flurry of activity, is Ava. Crozier in the lane, gets the friendly bounce.
Well, Crawford County did not stop ball at all. She got right in the paint and just got a nice 15-footer.
And this has been the ebb and flow of this game. Lanesville between 5 and 10 points most of the way. Open three for the Wolfpack, no. But inside position, shot blocked. Brumley stepped on the baseline, which again was frankly a benefit to her because she saved that ball right back into a Crawford County player.
Well, the Wolfpack pretty comfortable. You talked about the fact they shoot about 38% from threes, but they've went about 0 for 2, maybe 0 for 3 to start this game, or at least in the second half.
Reference the fact that Lanesville is in action on Saturday. So too is Crawford County, as they will play North Posey.
Oh, tough pass.
Back cut and bucket.
That's great hands because that was a little bit high, but she came down and got it and got an easy one.
Also harped on saying, hey, You got to get Stroud the ball around the rim. It's exactly what Crawford County did there.
Yeah, and you want to go through her as much as you can.
She's got 13 of their 25. Little three-man weave here for Lanesville, just trying to find a crack or a crevice
But
against
I like
this.
the movement, Greg. I like
Yep.
the movement.
Schneider turns, misses. And Schneider averaging 7 points and 3 rebounds a game.
There's the trap. You want to get out of that corner.
And Stroud at 6'1" can throw over said trap, and banks open. 3 taken and made by Skylar Howell, her first points. And it's back to a 4-point game. And the closest this has been since the opening minutes was 15-12 early in the second quarter. Howell, a 35% three-point shooter on the season. Not sure how many of them have been banked in until now. Eagles not in a big hurry here. They're going to play 6. A little game management isn't exactly a bad thing.
No, it's not at all. In fact, it's more important to get a really good shot than to hurry something right here.
Crozier got a really good shot.
That's pretty. Just a really good fundamental ball fake. Got her up off her toes enough. Dribbled in. Good shot.
Crozier with 11. First Lanesville player in double figures. And she averages 17 a game. Stroud for 3. No. And that ball caroms around. Crozier saves it.
Crawford County's got to be a little careful here, Greg. They got to be careful not shooting themselves out of this game.
But what I will say is this, Jan, they've avoided turning the ball over the first 4 minutes.
That's key.
That's big progress after the first quarter, which had 9 turnovers.
But they've been doing a pretty good job of finding the paint, and now they're settling for threes. While they're decent at shooting them, they're not hitting them right now.
Lanesville really overloading one side. That's first foul of the quarter against either side, so it'll be underneath out of bounds to the Eagles. That'll go against Madison Sturgeon. Substitution. Riley House will come back on.
So after last year's state championship, did you go out to the celebration?
I had to do the 2A game, Jan.
Okay.
Had to keep on working.
I would have filled in for you.
On the high-low, Brumley is fouled on the floor. Now what I did do for the previous state championship, which was on a Saturday night, or Saturday day game was the game, they'd invited me to come back and host
Right, I thought you did.
the championship get-together on Monday.
Right. So they had the championship that same day, or the celebration?
Celebration was 2 days later. This year that was on the same day.
I got you.
Crozier in the lane with 13. So Crozier with all 6 points since halftime for the Eagles.
I like what Lanesville's doing now. After a score, they're going to trap. Full court.
And Davis has to give the foul as Rickenbaugh will shoot 2 free throws.
The best time to press or trap is when you want to versus when you have to, and especially if you have the lead. Really good, I think, coaching by Coach Angie Hidden.
So 2 free throws coming up for Crawford County, their 5th and 6th tries of the game. Today's game sponsored by Blocker Concrete, your local flat work specialist. Call Mike today at 502-333-5223 or email him at blockerconcrete@gmail.com.
Of all the stats, a couple of them stick out to you. Free throw shooting is not bad, but it's not great, and the other one is obviously the turnovers.
And usually teams that Lanesville plays, the free throws get worse as the game goes along, just because it is a kind of gradual wearing down process.
That's exactly right, because the legs are the first to go, and when you force a team in those types of pressure, you wear them down physically.
Yeah, Curtis took that about 1 step too far with the 6'1" Stroud waiting on her.
And the more you can make your opponent run, that tires them out, that the legs go quicker.
Shot missed.
I like the shot, though.
That was Rickenbaugh that missed it. Crozier will pull from 15.
She's got a beautiful ball fake. That, if you're a young lady looking to play ball, fundamentals, a little ball fake, and she does it a lot.
She's also got kind of an old school mid-range game.
Yeah.
Capable three-point shooter, but feels better from 15 feet. And that's the shot she's made all half long.
That's a smart deal. If you're comfortable at 13, get into 13. Don't force a 15.
All poked away, but Brumley couldn't get to it. Then the 3 does not go. And speaking of Crozier, got her hands on it. Again, she averages just shy of 6 rebounds a game as well. She is currently the team's leading rebounder.
Crawford County's in a little bit of trouble here. Lanesville could absolutely put a ton of pressure if they can get something big here. It's at 10. This could be the biggest lead of the game.
Crozier was one of the 3 IBCA players of the week, the first week of the season.
That's the easy one. Went soft. Got to go up strong there.
Missed the lefty scoop, did Crozier. She scored every Lanesville point here in the half.
Yeah, she's had a really good third quarter of play.
High low to Stroud, and Stroud just missed it.
Look out.
Jump ball, I believe.
Just got too far underneath the bucket. It looked like for sure they were going to have one easy, and that's one they should have got.
Zoe Eason will check in for Crawford County. Zoe, a 5'9" senior. Again, they usually play 8. This is what they have played tonight. 10 in total on the varsity roster for Coach Broughton's squad. And that'll be a foul against Crawford County.
Got to be a foul.
That'll be Riley House that is guilty of the violation. This Crawford County team has already played their lone in-season tournament. They played in Cordon's event. Lanesville had played in that for many years. They did not this year. They played a one-day 4-teamer at the famous Huntingburg Gym in Southridge, which they won by beating North Central of Farmersburg and Southridge. Then they'll play in that aforementioned Niehaus Classic on December 29th and 30th.
I'm no hurry at all if I'm Lanesville. I want the absolute perfect shot to end this quarter of play. You want to go with the lead, you want to go with momentum, and then as well you got to have your biggest lead of the game. That's why I think you really take your time, get the shot you want.
Kerr concurs.
That game better than that. Well, why you like that three? So it goes great ball movement. If she was wide open, that's the shot you want.
Is now Lanesville's largest lead.
Really well executed that time, Greg.
They've outscored Crawford 11-5 here in the quarter.
That's one of those threes you go, absolutely you take that one.
Good hands by Crozier.
Yeah.
First Crawford County turnover of the half. Give and go. Crozier. Well, she'll get kind of bailed out. She kept kind of waiting for contact and never really came. But Lanesville will have possession.
Well, there's no question this third quarter of play has been all about Crozier. She has played really, really well.
Must be getting warm in the gym. The door's open. Seal by Kerr, and doesn't get the ball to bounce her away.
Lanesville's had a couple of them here that could have, should have, but did not, or this thing could really be big.
3 missed, but Crawford gets an extra possession. And a blocking foul on Jane Davis, which is her third, but with just 27 seconds left in the quarter, you can kind of live with that. Looks like Emma and Jane may switch spots here for a moment. First substitute of the half for Lanesville.
Boy, this has been a third quarter play that Crawford County, Greg's only had put 5 points. Yeah.
Foul going to be called against Lanesville on the hold. Crozier. It'll be her second, team's third. But it looks like they will give 2 shots.
And you use the term, and rightfully so, they wear you down. They just keep wearing you down physically and all the things that they do. It just really, you can see, starts to take its toll on a ball club because of their ability to wear teams down.
So Eason, 11 of 14 on the season from the line, connects on that one. So bump it up to 12 of 15. And makes them both.
Got to hit them now. Crawford County put themselves in a little bit of position, Greg. They got to hit free throws now.
That snaps a streak of 9 consecutive points for the Eagles. Schneider can run the baseline. And again, the made free throws allows Crawford to pick up full court pressure. And Crozier will often be the one-person press break this year for Lanesville. See, time is on your screen.
Got to get it up.
Crozier agrees and just couldn't get the shot to go. But Eagles will take a double-digit lead to quarter number 4, looking for a 25th consecutive win, dating back to December of last year. Back in a moment on the ISC Sports Network. McCulling in time.
Oh, no!
It's good.
This one is caught.
There you
oh,
go.
Wow, Dawson makes a great catch.
Spin, win, 3, bury it for Leland Walker.
Tie the game they do with the dunk by Malik Edmonds. What a play.
Oh my goodness.
I feel a little momentum starting to fall Ellen's way.
That is Wrestler! Wrestler! Whoa!
Back in the ISC Sports Network studios, Greg Rakestraw, Jan Bozier. Lanesville leads at 41-30. Jan, what's going to be the difference here in quarter number 4?
Well, if the defense for Lanesville continues, it's been the storyline, really. You use the term wear them down, they've worn them down. Somehow, some way, Crawford County needs a spark, and they need it quickly.
So back to the action in Lanesville. Hadley Crozier leads the way for the Eagles. She's got 15 points. 8 of those coming. First 8 points of the 11 scored. Kerr with 9. All 6 Lanesville players that have played are in the scoring column. Stroud has 13 for Crawford County, had just 2 in quarter number 3.
Well, you just wonder how much energy Crawford County still has in the gas tank. They need a little run here, and they need it here within the next 2 or 3 minutes.
Fouls reset. No player on either side has more than 3. Brumley with the steal. And then Brumley is fouled on the floor. Again, good foul by Crawford County. Prevents a fast break opportunity, and House immediately kind of taps chest, says, my fault.
Well, the first thing you cannot do is pick up your dribble. Get rid of it. You pick your dribble. Lanesville's as good as anybody. When you pick up that dribble, here comes the pressure and a lot of times the double team, and then it's so hard to pass out of if you've already given up your dribble.
Ball poked away. Kerr recovers.
I would be in no hurry if I'm Lanesville. I want nothing but great shots. Wear them down. They're already wore a little down, and the more defense you make them play, the more you will wear them down.
Foul goes against Abby Adams. We mentioned Riley House with a couple of made threes. She was a game-time decision tonight, dealing with an injury. Suffered against Clarksville a couple of victories ago. House on cue makes that play. You can see why she is such a difference maker for Coach Broughton's squad. Kerr. Good movement. Runner. Just missed it. Couldn't save it to a teammate. Chance for the Wolfpack to push. And Stroud scores.
Go.
And she matches Crozier with 15. And a timeout called by Angie Hitton. And it will be a 30-second timeout. Let's take it with them. 7:03 to play in this one. Lanesville's lead is at 9. You're watching on the ISC Sports Network.
18.
Brewer jams it home.
That ball wiggles in and into the back of the net.
A little fireworks in the first half.
Throw it up for Tillman.
Whoa, my goodness. 122.60 for Penn.
What a swim! 6 of them.
Good thanks to our ISC Sports Network crew. Thank you to Jordan Shoup, David Kahn, Alex Laverne. He's our one-man satellite backpack unit in Lanesville tonight. Thanks to Zach Payne, Director of Athletics, Ryan Apple, the Superintendent. Thanks to those in the IT department.
Greg, I'm looking over the top 10 here, Class 1A, obviously, Lanesville number 1. You got Caston at 10-0, Bethany Christian at 9-0. Then you go clear down to number 8, Tri Township at 10-0. Those are the 4 teams still undefeated in the top 10.
Of course, Lanesville beat Bethany Christian in last year's state championship game, 60-41. Those other 3 schools that you mentioned are all in the northern half of the bracket. Schneider got it.
Really good ball movement. She flew to the elbow, but what was key was getting her the pass as she cut. Well done.
And then Davis tips that ball away. That bucket by Schneider, just her second of the game. Kick ball first. Davis got a foot to it before she got a hand to it.
We've talked over and over about the quickness of Lanesville. Those types of passes that Crawford County have had some trouble with today. You got to give credit to the quick. See, there's overplay. You see how she overplayed the pass? Just little fundamental things that you don't always get, and that causes problems.
Lanesville again will try to stretch the floor. Not trying to take the air out of it. They're just, again, trying to get the defense to come chase him a little bit.
Absolutely. It's just good basketball.
Schneider again, not that time.
Maybe a little quick there, but she was open.
There's Crozier. Just the back pressure. Always lurking in the background is Hadley. Turn, foul. Foul called against House, her third, and 2 free throws coming up. Hilton Brumley will shoot 2.
Lanesville's been solid from the line all year long. They started a little bit cool in this game. It didn't help their cause there, but they shoot 74%. Been, for the most part, pretty solid all year long.
Tonight's game brought to part by Beckman Lawn Care, proudly serving Harrison and Floyd counties. Call Needham at 812-736-1241 or email beckmanlawncare@gmail.com.
There's a lot of teams that you can find a way to get a spark, but Lanesville is so difficult because they handle the press, and they defend the press really well.
Good turn by Sturgeon, just her second field goal. The 5'4" junior, 16 points a game. And while Crawford County has some key seniors, for them, again, their future they think is this year. Schneider left open and buries it again.
He's been good all game, Greg.
Schneider back-to-back buckets here in the quarter for Lanesville. Tremendous thought for Crawford County. Their top 2 scorers are sophomores and juniors.
Yeah.
In other words, they're going to be good for a while.
Well, this is a really good game. Obviously, their toughest opponent, number 1 on Lanesville's floor. This is a really good test for this young Wolfpack ball club.
Stroud forced the issue, and I think her thought process was just go get it. It is deemed that Crozier touched it last.
Still 4:55 left, but regardless of the outcome, whatever that is, this is really good education for Crawford County, whether they win or they lose.
You said it well earlier. Their schedule gets tougher as the season goes along. Stroud fouled. Well, she'll get 2 free throws. Not much of a holiday break for Crawford County. They get an 8-day window between games, between playing South Spencer and Forest Park. They play their sectional this year at South Spencer. Crawford County kind of got kicked a little further west in the latest realignment. Crawford County, Tell City, Forest Park. Forest Park, of course, the defending champs, but different team what they were a season ago. Look ahead pass. Crozier missed it, but got it back. Shot blocked. Missed opportunity by Lanesville.
Need to get this thing within 10 in a hurry here.
Sturgeon doing her best to get there. Just missed it.
Well, you're right. Lanesville has played this group of girls for a lot. They're pretty accustomed to it now, but they played a lot of minutes.
But there's the old reference to the Iron 5.
It definitely iron.
Call this the Skillet 6
well,
then.
Not only are the same girls playing, but listen, they've been pressing and breaking the press. That takes a little extra energy as well.
Schneider again. Not that time. Made a couple of them earlier.
Good shot, though.
Made 2 and missed 2 has Ellie here in the quarter.
You love the shot when they get it right at the elbow. You got to hit that one.
Midway moment of the 4th quarter, and that's, just put that ball on her hip. And by my unofficial count, Jan, that is turnover number 20 committed by Crawford County.
Yeah, and it's just unfortunate Lanesville's not that ball club that you can turn it over 20 times against.
By the way, of note, next Crawford County foul puts Lanesville in the penalty. Lanesville has fouls to work with. They've yet to commit one here in the quarter.
I know we've mentioned a couple times, and Crawford County was able to kind of come back, but 9 turnovers early really was difficult for Crawford County.
It may be layup time for Lanesville. That would constitute a layup, but Crozier missed it, and then she commits the foul going for the loose ball. And Hadley scored 15, but man, she has left some on the table tonight.
She has 3 or 4, and she knows it. She makes the hard ones.
And she has not scored here in the fourth quarter. But frankly, the defensive effort has been so stellar for Lanesville that it hasn't come back to hurt them just yet.
Yeah, well, it's well said, because the defense is their equalizer. They can miss a few shots, you go, oh, in a lot of games that may be crucial, but they just help their cause because of their defense. We've said it over and over, but clearly it's their staple, Greg.
Stroud in the lane. Doesn't go, but draws the foul. If that's on Schneider, that's 4. And Stroud, who missed her last 2 free throws, will shoot 2 more.
Now, one of the things you would kind of hope to do if you're an opponent against Lanesville, Greg, is get to the free throw line. Because 2 things. A, if you're getting the free throw line, they're getting fouls. They don't go real deep. And that's a thing that can beat them, or at least make it much more competitive if you can't go to the free throw line, but you got to hit them. Crawford County has not been great at the free throw line tonight.
On cue, Stroud misses one, and then Davis tracks down the loose ball. So Lanesville has left some points at the rim in terms of some missed interior shots. For Crawford County, it's been trips to the free throw line that have come up empty. Now the game of keep away continues for the Eagles. Schneider again takes it.
Lanesville's going to get 1 day of rest, and then they'll go right back at it on Saturday.
And that's against New Washington. Stroud, 3 on the right side, left short.
Well, and they've not hit the threes either. If they had a shot, they've had some decent looks, Greg, but they've just not been able to have a very good percentage, at least in this 4th period of play from the behind the arc.
And then Crozier is fouled, and Crozier has missed all 3 free throws tonight. But again, she is a 75% shooter. Wolf, the foul. And a full timeout taken. Let's step aside with them. 2:28 left to play. Lanes are looking to make it 12-0. Back in a moment. You're watching on the ISC Sports Network. We went through some of these sectional permutations for Crawford County, and again, from a record standpoint, they are a prohibitive favorite in sectional 48. And Jan notated Lanesville has won 5 consecutive sectionals in what is now sectional 61, but they have some good teams in their group this year. Again, Borden, who was number 1 last week, that was a meeting of number 1 versus number 2 in the state. The Lanesville won 35-33. West Washington gave Lanesville a pretty good game earlier this year as well. And the sectional is at West Washington this year, which is where Lanesville played their regional last year as well. Senators are 8-3. Lanesville beat West Washington by 13 when the 2 schools played just before Thanksgiving.
Now, how many teams rotate in that sectional 61?
It's been the same 6 for the most part.
So they literally rotate the sectional around in those schools?
Usually it's West Washington and Bourne that have the best facilities. New Washington,
okay,
good to have some of those as well. Lanesville got to host the tennis sectional this past year, which is a big deal, being a 1-class sport. Davis takes the foul from Stroud. And Davis to the line to shoot 2. So Davis on the year, 11 of 16 from the line. Lanesville also gets to host softball and baseball sectionals on a regular basis. And Jay and I am lucky enough to be of the age that all of these great facilities that Lanesville had kind of came to be right as I was going through high school. So in other words, I'll call this the new gym, and it's celebrating its 30th year as we speak, because it's still new in my mind. While I am nowhere new in my mind or a mirror or anything like that.
I can't even go there because I would incriminate how old I am if I started down that path.
So the lead is 13 with less than 2 to play. Jump ball. Kerr wrestles it away.
Greg, you look at it, Angie Hinton's overall record, 308 and 94 in 18 years of coaching. That's impressive.
She would have had more years as a head coach, but she said, you know what, I'm going to go be a mom in the middle of that time. So led New Albany to a state championship. Right. Took time away for being a head coach. Was the head coach at North Harrison, now at Lanesville. Obviously the legend Joe Hinton, her husband, is on the bench for Lanesville. It's amazing how much more popular Joe is in Lanesville than when he coached at Floyd Central or coached at Georgetown or played at Georgetown before that.
He's welcome to all the Lanesville reunions now.
Well, Kerr is fouled, and I'll tell this story. This is from the 06-07 season, which is perhaps the best boys team in Lanesville history. They made the semi-state day. And I can tell you I was just in the building that night. Literally, I had a Colts game in Nashville the next day. So I was at Lanesville with the Paoli game the Saturday night before. And the joy of the Lanesville fans beating not just Paoli, but Joe Hinton's Paoli team. Different feeling about Uncle Joe now. So Kerr to shoot 2. She is now 1 of 3 from the line, and I make it 1 of 4. So Lanesville has left the door open here. But again, the sands of the hourglass are running through just 12 second half points, and that is a common refrain for Lanesville. And a little contact going in both directions. We simply.
You know, we talked about what a good competition this was for Crawford County. Listen, Crawford County's been a nice test for Lanesville. Well, a little bit taller team. It's presented some things that Lanesville kind of needed just to see where they are.
Crozier gets her first bucket of the 30 they played last year. They're about to chalk up their 25th consecutive win. Timeout called by Crawford County. Sturge in the bucket. We'll keep it right here with to go. She calls a timeout.
Yeah, she's one of those coaches that is very on top of every detail, and that's just the mark of a really good coach.
I want to thank our 2 presenting sponsors for tonight's telecast on the IHSAA Sports Network. Thanks to our friends at Blocker Concrete, your local flat work specialist. Give Mike a call at 502-333-5223 or email Mike at blockerconcrete@gmail.com. And thanks to Beckman Lawn Care, proudly serving Harrison and Floyd counties. Call and need them at 812-736-1241 or email beckmanlawncare@gmail.com. For all the folks watching back home, whether that's Lanesville or Crawford County, make sure you thank those businesses that make a service like tonight available on the IHSAA Sports Network. And the next stoppage play, if we get one, I've got a request for the folks in Crawford County. I'll share that with you.
All right.
If we get a stoppage and play here. Not sure if Crawford will foul at this point or simply get on the bus. Lanesville turns it over. Their 7th of the game. Stroud given the basket and couldn't finish. And eventually Crozier out of there with it. Davis, bucket. Emma Davis with 8. So again, make it 25 in a row for Lanesville.
Well, they're just so consistent. They average 56, they're at 52.
Stroud's 3, no good, and that's the ball game. Lanesville wins it 52-39. Jan, your final thoughts on this one?
Well, defense started it, defense ended it. They were just steady through the whole ball game. Lanesville didn't turn it over. Let's give Crawford County a lot of credit. They turned the ball over a lot, still made a game out of it, but it was all said and done. Lanesville's defense just does what it does, only allowing Crawford County 39 points.
Hadley Crozier 17, Ava Kerr 9, Jane Davis 9, Emma Davis 8, 6 for Ellie Schneider, 3 for Hilton Brumley. 4, Crawford County, Emery Stroud, her average of 16 points. No other player had more than 7 in tonight's contest. Again, both teams play on Saturday. Lanesville plays a conference game at New Washington. Crawford County will take on North Posey. With the sounds of Lanesville High School, our dear Lanesville High School in the background, we will bid you a fond farewell for this Thursday evening. For Jan Bozium and our entire ISC Sports Network crew, this is Greg Rakestraw. Good night from Lanesville and good night from the ISC Sports Network studios. Eagles win it again, 52-39. You've been watching on ISC. Ball here. Harris scores. With 19 seconds left.
Fake players, big boy. I'm telling you right now, that's awesome. I love it. Oh!
You get a layup taken and an and one.